What's going on, party people? You ready
What
for a
up?
day?
I'm
Nothing I
already
love
humping.
more than a surprise that you know is coming and it still makes you giggle. AKA,
every every time.
so you finally got to your destination, or did you just finally wake up and get something to eat, or?
All of the above. I stopped by a rest stop because I damn near fell asleep at the wheel. Because I didn't really sleep a
Ooh,
lot last night. Yeah, and I'm good at catching myself on that though. And so I slept until like 5, 6, and then drove the last hour. Cooked me up some chicken, rice, green beans, and mushrooms with some Worcestershire all over it, little Cajun seasoning.
nice. Yeah, I had a Euro Monday night. I opted for another Euro. It's just a convenient place up the street. Believe it or not, it's even a drive-through. It's not a franchise, but I can get drive-through Euro, so I don't even have to leave the truck. Makes my day.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. And while we're here chatting, I'm gonna be doing some bearing swap.
Oh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna do some more stuff too, but whatever. I don't. I can't.
Well, I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's gonna make me feel a little better because they're not nice. I mean, to say that they sound like gravel is not fully covering the gamut of noise that comes out of these things.
Yeah, I still have a couple motors to replace. E-drone Raz Mystery Double.
Oh yeah. Duh, I'm in the wrong place. Can't see the chat here. There we go.
Mr. J Night Train.
What's going on, Mike? I'll be able to catch you guys tomorrow. I'll be doing some late driving, so you guys will be providing in transit entertainment. So I catch you guys a fair amount on Thursday. I try to say hi, but I'm usually driving, so I usually leave it at hi.
Hi.
Whoa. Man,
Wow,
where I'm at
I
this
thought I was
week,
gonna.
there's like a cluster of hotels just all in this general area. So I decided today I was going to cruise all around. I was flippy flopping all over the front of the hotels. I'd do this one's, entranceway, then I'd fly over to this one's entranceway, then I'd go terrorize the apartments on the backside. And I was having a good old time.
Hell yeah, dude. I was gonna do a little testing of the stuff I've been repairing, but I got rained out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll have a
Today,
little. Hopefully, I'll have a little time rain free. I don't care if it's wet, but you know, tomorrow, because that's the last day before I have my Joshy poo and we go fuck some shit up.
yeah, man, I'm in Grand Rapids right now, and I will be in Grand Rapids next week, bright and early Monday morning. And I decided, you know what? Indy is 4 hours away, and it doesn't make sense to run home to turn around and leave in a day and a half. So instead, I'll visit Chuck. Which, I'm always looking for a reason anyway. If I get in anybody's area, I like to visit. Mike, Adam, no. Of course, I don't get there very often. Ugh. Forgot my bearing swap tool. But no, it'll be
Screwdriver.
good. So we're going to destroy the Indy area a little bit. Chuck's already got a handful of pins. I've been scouting some different things. And Indy is Nurk's neck of the woods. Now, I have not reached out to him, do not plan on reaching out to him. But the idea is I know there's stuff to fly.
Oh yeah, there's definitely shit to fly. I have found this Brando, guys, that looks so fucking epic. I'm getting hard right now. Hopefully, I don't know the security situation, but we're gonna try it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing looks like I mean, it's a pop-up warehouse thing, don't you know, like everything else. But dude, this thing is ginormous, has a crane, and it looks like a fortress.
Multiple stories.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait.
It looks like easily 2 levels, possibly 3, depending on, how the layout is. But just from the low res image I got, from the highway as Chuck was rolling by, it is quite attractive.
Damn, I thought I was gonna have internet problems. My internet's on fire right
Chris
now.
always inspires me. Y'all just, I'd say you don't know, but you guys know.
I know Ray knows. Yeah.
Yep, there was actually a lot of Pennsylvania action going on this last weekend. So, Chris and Crystal were celebrating one of many wedding anniversaries and decided they wanted to spend it with Ray and Jess. So they all drove up to Wilkes-Barre, PA. Well, technically, Ray and Jess drove down from New York to Wilkes-Barre, but Chris and Crystal drove up, which is quite a hike for them. And they spent the weekend together flying and hiking and hanging out and doing cool stuff. And then I believe it was Sunday, Erik and Brian were in the Pottstown-ish or somewhere not far from their area. Actually, yeah, it wasn't Pottstown. It was some place that's like 45 minutes away from Brian. But they looked like they had a good time. Thank you, Adam. Always appreciated, brother. I think you are single-handedly funding every giveaway the NoobTube has.
Which we've been itching to have one, but you know, stuff. Holy crap.
All right. One bearing swap done.
All right. I have a couple products I'm going to show you guys. I literally just started looking at as we started this, but this shit is awesome. I have to share this. We're going to start with the lame one first, though.
I actually have a couple pieces in hand that I'm going to be employing soon.
Oh, get ready for the truck
Erik,
start.
what area were you in? I said Pottstown, but I know that wasn't right. You guys were a little ways away from Pottstown.
Check this shit out, guys.
I saw that.
Do you remember when I used to sort of make something like this out of Lexan?
Yeah.
Well, look how nice these are. They're clear, so you get to see your pretty wire and everything. Double-sided sticky already on it. Dude, 10 of them for $5.
That's a pretty good price to not have to cut it and bend it and do all the stuff yourself.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to order this shit as soon as we're done.
16 millimeters is a pretty good length there, too.
Yeah, and I mean, if you need to cut it, you know, a little hacksaw do you right.
You shouldn't need to. 16 isn't that long.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I keep telling her she's wrong. She won't believe me. But anyways, that was just a cool little thing. And the other one, which I haven't even looked on the stats at yet, but man, this shit is fire. And this is the high end, boys. So if you want this, you're going to have to break out the wallets.
That's okay. I'm going to follow up some of your high end with some low end.
Sweet. All right. ISDT has a new charger.
1100.
I really wish I could get rid of this stupid rewards thing, but I don't know. Yes. 1100 watt, 20 amp, 16S.
Like, what's that balance port look like?
Dual charger, bro. All right, and it is. And if you got smart batteries, which nobody cares about yet, oh, it does that. But look at that thing. That thing's like Matrix. Right.
That is. You can actually start to appreciate how big it is looking at the size of the XT60 ports.
Yeah. There's your balance leads.
Not quite what I envisioned. Oh, are they like double stacked?
Yeah, well, how else are you gonna do? You ain't gonna do 16S that's like 3 inches long.
Well, I don't know. That's why I wanted to see. I was making no assumptions.
I'm not sure what they're showing here, but it looks cool. Now, for the big shocker, let's get back to how cool it looks first. All right.
Big shot.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But then again,
So-
if you were flying 16S or 18S or whatever it said,
Yep. And you know what's funny is that's just a little over the price that the old 4-channel Chargers used to be when they were newer.
yeah. Yeah, and some of those topped out at 4S.
Right? Dude, I don't even like RDQ anymore. All these stupid freaking pop-up bullshits. It's got Bluetooth connectivity for monitoring your shit.
Yeah, to reach out and let you know your batteries are done.
I have no idea what synchronous parallel charging is, but it sounds pretty cool.
Isn't parallel charging already? Dual synchronous.
I don't know, but 20 amps per channel, bro. Per channel. This thing is like a powerhouse.
I've never charged anything at 20 amps, so just the idea of that.
Well, I mean, mine can do 20, but not like this. Up to 3 amps discharge, which is fantastic.
Oh, there he is. I see an MD, but I don't know if he's ready. Do I bring him in anyway?
Do it. Let me get rid of this.
What's going on, Justices?
Justices.
What?
Big dog.
Guys, how many years are you two celebrating?
19.
Woo!
Long road.
Oh no, that's an awful long time.
Salute.
All fun times. Well, I guess not all, but most.
Come on now. You all know how he is.
It's not all fun, but you know what? When you're in it with a teammate,
It makes it even better.
Let me go to.
Who else we got in here now?
At least makes it tolerable, doesn't it?
I don't see nobody yet in chat. So I'm getting ready to pull YouTube up.
Chaos FPV, welcome, brother. I've not seen you in here before. Are you new to us? Or am I just really not paying attention, which it could be? What's going on,
Who's
Jess?
that? Chaos?
Yeah. To us?
Chaos has been here.
Oh, Chaos?
Yeah, I'm a moron, so, whatever.
Yeah, it's all good.
What's up, amigo? We got Double A. Elvis is up in here.
Look what he says. Been a minute since on the tubes of nudes. I like it.
Popping chat out here. I don't have nothing in StreamYards on chat.
That's because you're a guest, sir.
You should still have chat, right?
No.
Nazi ass channel.
No chat for you.
Bitches don't want to be in chat.
Crystal's got that handled.
Night Train, what's up?
So I heard you were doing a little flying today, Christopher.
Oh, was I have fun today? It's been a long road. I try to. Everybody said I was jumped out and got all the skills, so I try to rewind, give everybody a chance to jump back on the train, and Chuck just kept flying toothpicks.
Toothpick.
Choo choo ride a train. Choo choo ride in.
Raspberry, razzle dazzle.
Cleans my teeth real good too.
Who else we got? Plummet in the house. Plum, I got all your parts in, bro, so I'll be getting that together for you. Who else am I missing up in here? Jessica
I don't know if
Linda.
some of you guys know this, but Chris builds, right? Nobody knows that. But the build has
don't look
gone
behind
into high gear the last couple weeks.
Yes, I have been. I got like
He's got quads
I got-
coming out the wazoo.
3 going on now. I got yesterday I worked all day, got 3 going. That's going out and getting boxed up tonight. So yeah,
Going out tomorrow.
has
and you
been
got-
busy. Mr. D.
I know Plummet's gonna start getting impatient, man.
Yes.
Chris was talking to me earlier. I figure he's got probably 3 more drones to receive parts. He's going to skip town, change his name.
I'm actually going to be building a DJI rig, believe it or not.
Really?
It's just going to be for me to play with for a couple months to get to know it, to understand the system. That way, if someone comes to me with it, look at them balls.
Y'all just don't know the noise this drone makes.
Those are mighty rough balls, bro.
Thank you, amigo. I have been feeling it. I did fall off. I did change radios for you guys that don't know in the chat. And I'm telling you, when you change radios, it just screws you all over. I mean, you have to learn everything again.
Chris didn't fall off shit. It took him like 3 days.
Yeah, right. Man, I went out
Those
there for
magic
weeks.
drones.
Crystal knows.
Crystal knows a lot. Come on now. 19
Right,
years?
right, that's
Oh
right.
boy. As soon as that transmitter came in,
Drone
I was like,
on,
oh
welcome.
my God. And then the goggles came in and I'm like, oh my God. And then the bad thing was he needed new VTXs. He needed new motors. And I'm like, oh Jesus God, what am I doing? I'm adding to the complications.
New goggles, new everything.
Hey, you didn't have to tell all that.
What?
Man, I tell you,
It's all right. Bro,
when everybody made the OLED,
no, I was going to say, you got to tell everybody about the last couple weeks of experiences.
Yes, so I flew with Fat Shark HD3s. I struggled a little bit with them because I had a 16:9 camera. Once I realized 4x3 and 4x3 works real well together, I kind of dialed them in, got really good on, proximity and shit like that. So then I heard everybody before talk about the OLEDs, and they're like, oh, you have to have them. Oh, you do. I'm like, they can't be all that. They are everything and that. I tell you what, the stuff I see now is amazing. And to be able to have that, be able to see that, it gives you so much more confidence, like on the sticks. I mean, it really does.
I tell you what, I've noticed how good, the colors were really, really nice in it. I haven't messed with any of the settings, mind you, because I got HDO2s recently as well. But I have not had a chance to check out a lot of Scraggle yet. To really, because that's when you really, or run up to a chain link fence. That's when you really know your goggles are the shit.
Yep. And I've noticed that. So when I come down now, so diving trees and all, I'm not going to lie, I did it. You guys know I've done it, but I always had that little bit of insecurity there. Now I can just come down and just pick my path like a squirrel. I mean, just come straight on down through there with no problem. It's unbelievable. And I got the Foxeer Predator V5, which the HDO2s, crystal clear, running the rapid fire. I can't complain at all.
Hey, I put that Predator V5 Nano on my toothpick the other night.
Uh-huh.
It was night, and I just held it out my window to make sure it worked. But dude, it
Okay,
looked good.
That's what's
Yeah.
in this box, X class that needs to be built.
That's why I said I don't ship X classes. They have to be personally delivered.
Freaking monster quad. Imagine walking in the post office with that box.
No.
To ship this. I'll have to make the arms fold.
Are you kidding? I don't trust the post office, UPS,
Take
FedEx,
one of
or
the
any of them
pins.
right now.
Take just one of the arm screws out and make it to where it folds and kind of get it so small.
Yep. The only thing better, and this one, I don't know what it would take to make it visible, but soccer nets. I've been nabbed on at least 4 occasions by soccer nets. It's like, oh, an open goal. No, it wasn't.
I could see them already though with my HD3s and that Predator V5 because over winter place, that's exactly what they'll do. I'm like, oh, I see them, and I like, oh man, and then once I get closer, I see the net. I'm like, darn. Chucky.
That's what I'm talking about. We're going suntanning together, bro. I mean,
The first thing that came to my mind, oh,
Right.
This was the first print. It was off a little bit, but yeah, doesn't it?
Friggin', those are perfect, man, because they're not big. They don't stick out. They don't make your like they don't change how it fits in your bag or anything.
Check out these ones I did for the orcas.
Oh, nice. Clips in there good.
Yeah, it sets in there real good. Locks right in.
Plummet wants one.
Protects it. Plum just hit a Thingiverse. They got the link on there. There's what the battery from.
Ordered it to be in the box with quad.
Yeah, landed in the box with quad.
I'll tell you what, that is one piece of equipment that is entirely not talked about and I'd say underrated. I don't think that's the right word though. Maybe unknown is those goggle lens covers, man. Ever since Chris made me some for my old goggles, my HDOs, dude, I don't have to clean my lenses anymore. Dust ain't getting all up in my shit from me being in my bag. Like, they're wonderful.
They do.
If your bag gets dusted while somebody else is flying, at least the goggles don't get smashed with dust.
I had so I got my one pair of goggles that I had. They had one in there that kind of looked like a dog chewed on them and all. I mean, it was like somebody tried, but it was just like light still burning through it. So I went ahead and looked and found the file. Doc was the one. He always would take, put his goggles face down, like don't lean them. He's the one got in my mind, don't turn them in the sun, because I used to just take my goggles, set them down on a picnic table, sun beaming in there, right? I didn't never thought about that. He's like, yeah, because what happens is he's like taking a magnifying glass and touching your leg with it when it's sun's out. And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. And I remember I had one set of goggles that actually did that, and 2 of the LEDs like shined back at me, like when I was flying. It was really hard to see. And these things save your lens like unbelievable, and they're really easy to print. Like, I mean, I don't care. It look like the dog can chew on it as long as it covers the lens.
Especially the HDO2s that have a straight up curved lens. I mean, it's straight up a magnifying glass.
And the way you can focus them things, yes, you can definitely burn them out quick. They are beautiful. I do love that.
Well, and I'm not going to lie, mine were already beat up and scratched up. That's what I should say. Because you know me, I've always, no matter what kind of goggles I had, I just throw them in my bag. But they would here and there get a little worse. They have not only not gotten any worse in the scratched arena, but like Chuck said, I don't find myself ever having to clean them. I was always sitting there with my shirt cleaning dust and stuff off.
So when I was out this weekend, Shane, the owner of these goggles, he wanted me to take them out, get them in pilot's hands, get them on their face, and see what they think about it. I can tell you that Ray has never been able to put like regular fat sharks on his face and see. For one, he did the HDO2s, and he could see with them for the difference of the focus in them. He literally could see, never could see out of fat sharks before. The orcas, he fell in love with them. He put them on, like when I first got these, yes, they were terrible, but now knowing the system and going in and working with them and all that, these turn out to be a pretty decent goggle. I'll tell you what, I was impressed when I had them on Reaction Entertainment's face, and I was like, you know what? Thinking to myself, it's got a Wi-Fi module in here. Pop this cover off.
You know, I knew that they were good because of
There's a
Plummet,
port.
but
And that's a Wi-Fi module. And you can actually stream back to your phone. When I actually hit that one into that app and hit stream, and it just popped it up on my phone, and I'm telling you, crystal clear. I may still have it, actually. I was real impressed at that point. So they got the pros, their cons, the Fat Shark HDOs versus the Orcas. I figured it out now. I think I'm going to do a video. I can give it a fair, honest opinion.
All right, well, summarize for us. Give a quick comparison, pros and cons.
All right, let's go with the Orcas first. Pros. I like the fact that you got color and luminescence on this switch right here, meaning say you run one camera and you're like, oh, my one camera is real pretty colorful, the other one's like kind of dim. These goggles, you just go do 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 do, touch the color, touch the luminescence, and you bring all that to life. I like that. I like the fact that you can stream right to the internet from the goggles. The fact that the menu, it does have a menu, so you actually press down this and it's got a whole menu just for the goggles, nothing to do with rapid fire. So that's the kind of pros I like about it. The cons I don't like about it is, one, I had to put a zip tie on the strap for it being $600 goggles. That's janky because the strap is a two-piece and it just pops off on you. As far as fit in the face, they fit decent. I can't complain. But when it comes to the HDO2s now, I like the fact of these. For one, they have done something different here. This right here is money. Like, even if your lens is a little bit off, you could focus it. I mean, I'm telling you that I'm 48 years old, so I was kind of scared getting into the newer goggles because of, you know, the way technology is. And I know that one day it's going to come, I'm going to look and stuff and not be able to see and have to go to the doctor and get the diopter things. I was impressed looking in these things at first, because, you know, I'll give you another thing. They all have a hole, so it's like this. It's like literally the James Bond thing, like looking through a hole. But I'll tell you, with the Orcas, it stands out like a sore thumb. The HDO2s, it's kind of there, and you kind of just totally forget about it. I'd like to see the Fat Shark have a menu. I mean, I'm sure like there's probably not much to do in the goggle, but some kind of menu. I'd like to see him at least throw the color option in there, the way, you know, these do, because these are OLEDs, so you're able to adjust them and use them.
it has contrast and brightness.
Contrast and brightness, yes, but that's what I'm saying. This goggle has color and luminescence instead of just our right stick over here is dead. It just does, or whatever, the DVR thing.
There is a limited menu. I mean, it's the DVR and all
It
that.
is. And then so you got to look at that and go, well, okay, that just makes them Fat Shark much easier, because a lot of people don't like to get into, like, for instance, if you buy these out the box, I'd probably say you're not going to like them. You have to go into the menu and do your thing with them. But I've liked having with them, you know, or playing with them for the past couple of weeks and figuring out. I have discovered rapid fire for the concrete and metal stuff that I kind of like getting into. Yes, I would say rapid fire. But if you put rapid fire and Furious side by side in an open, like, wooded area, Furious is going to have that little edge over the rapid fire, but the rapid fire is going to give you that more edge over a hard environment, kind of, I guess, the way it bounces.
So when you have a lot of multipathing, you think that rapid fire is
exactly,
okay.
Multipathing area, rapid fire, keep it nice and clean from what I've saw so far.
Yeah, and that's what it's always been known for, is its handling of multipathing. I mean, you combine that with VAS antennas that deal with multipathing very well themselves. And well, I mean, you actually, I think, experienced it with me, Josh, when we were at the college the last time. You're like, yeah, I'm seeing some multipathing, dude. And I'm with my rapid fires, not a damn thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's not an all-around solution, and that's one thing that I think a lot of people lose a lot of sight of in regards to a lot of different aspects. You know, a lot of different pieces of equipment.
Exactly.
But you know, even your rapid-fire receiver comes with a diversity mode. You know, a legacy diversity mode, and there, you know, the rapid-fire. What do you call it? The stitching is not going to give you the greatest distance. It's not necessarily going to be the solution for everything. But if you apply the right tools during the right times, and that is something that the rapid fire definitely offers. You know, it's not like they went stitching and boop, that was it.
Yeah, well, it's also like if you remember when we went to that park that had that little church or whatever. Chris, you remember this.
Yeah.
You were having great reception behind the building, the trees and everything, and you were watching mine and you're like, damn, bro, that ain't the greatest right there. And there's your, you know, that shows the differences.
And that's what, so when you get the bigger channels that go rapid fire, it's the best. Like when I hear it the best, I want to be able to go, okay, I'm running HD3s with a Furious True D module. So you say best, I'm willing to give it the shot to get the module. But when you say best, I want to put my eyes in that and just be like, holy shit, why haven't I done this before? So that's the hype train I build myself up on. And then when you get in it, it's kind of like, where's the dopeness at? Mine don't have it.
You have to remember, best is an opinionated word. Everybody's definition of best is something totally different. So
well,
that's why
usually it's situational.
Yeah, that's why I broke Chris in real easy with the rapid fires. I kept telling him, bro, dude, they're not that much better than your True Ds in the way you're thinking.
Right. Now, but when you weigh out the differences in it, I'm now literally on it and like it, because on the Furious, I mean, don't get me wrong, I can just go like this. I've flown it so much, I don't even have to look at my goggles to know the menu. I can just go boop, boop, boop. I got it in my head to know what it was. Now that I've done did this, I can't do it, but it was like I know each click and then the click to get into it. And I could go into search channels just by keeping them on my head and pressing buttons. I do like rapid fire. One push down on the button, you don't have to search the channels. It just shows you the graph. And then if you scroll right or left, it'll go I, A, R, you know what I mean, the different bands. And then it'll do the channels. It'll show you all the channels in the bar that's the greatest. Put that thing on there, bang. Of course, you guys at rapid fire know this, but I like that. I like how it puts the menu in your goggles, so you don't have to guess, you know, at pushing buttons and stuff. So it does have its ups and its downs, but I was trying to like defend the Furious module, because I'm like, no, because if you do go watch the comparison, you got the Furious True D module, you got the rapid fire module, and then the Team Black Sheep. Not beating Trappy up, but that Team Black Sheep module gets its butt kicked by the Furious and the rapid fire.
Double A is frowning. Double A is frowning at you right now.
Well, you got to be careful with that. So, on paper, like when you compare the specs, the processor in the TBS Fusion module against the processor in Rapid Fire and some of the other hardware, it beats it long on paper. So it's got better hardware. Where it's been lacking is the software and the interface.
And it's just what I've seen on YouTube, like, because I compared, I was going to give Foxeer module a try, because I'm in the Foxeer. I like their cameras. I was like, yeah, you know, and the first thing you hear is, well, the Foxeer stomps the Furious. So I'm like, all right, I got to try this thing then if it's really killing it. And then so I watched the comparison of them, you know, them four, and I watch which ones are winning. And it's always like in a wooded area, the Furious is kind of a little bit, I mean, I'm talking edge over each other with the Rapid Fire and Furious, like this much difference. Like it's neck and neck. But it's like the Foxeer and then the TBS one. Now, depending on their antenna setup, their milliwatts on their bird and whatever, but you can see it fading in and out quickly at way less range than these other two are putting out. So I was like, okay.
When you're talking about the Furious module, are you talking about True D or their module with the stitching in it? I forget what they call it.
No, I think this is the OG module.
Yeah,
So
okay. Well, you
two
got to
D
be careful with that comparison just because it's not totally apples to apples.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Cause so this is like the oldest one. Like it doesn't even do stitching. So yeah, if I got like the Furious that did stitching and all, then we're talking. But no, when I watch the comparisons, it is with this one. I make sure it's with the exact one that I have. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I've been keeping an eye on some of the newer modules, and I'm telling you, the Black Sheep, the TBS Fusion module, I'm keeping my eye on because they have been doing a lot of software improvements.
Right.
You know, I'm going to be going HD, but I'm still going to maintain because I'm not going to have the money to do everything analog, and there's going to be times where I don't want to be blasting my homies out of the air, so I'll fly analog, and
Right.
But I've been looking at the possibility of doing an upgrade on my analog module, and that one keeps coming back.
Right.
But I don't know. It's hard. But what really does it for me is when somebody gives you the ability to be hands-on. Like when I wasn't even looking through your goggles, just using my goggles, which aren't even Fat Sharks. Just doing a ride along with you and seeing your camera versus mine. Oh, I cried for days. My stuff sucks.
They do. I'm telling you, Foxier's coming. They're coming strong with them cameras. I was amazed when I first. Everybody's like, the Predator V5, because I'm a Predator fan. So I got the 4, the 3, the 4, the 5. I may even have a 2. I'm sure I do. And what is it?
Told you.
We haven't seen you since the Brando.
Told you, Chris.
He's probably like, I'm gonna show this kid.
Called it.
So I don't mean to beat your module up, double A. I was just saying what I saw in comparisons. So
to be honest, he's the only one I know that has it.
What I say in modules is it comes down to how much are you willing to spend, to be honest with you, because they're all pretty much right there with each other, that there's really no king, no, what I mean? There's really nothing. It's all preference on who do you want to purchase from and what brand you want to have on your face is how I see it, basically.
And how much money you got, because the rapid fires, they want your money.
How much is the TBS module though? Because I don't know what's that go for. I know Furious is roughly the one I run is about 80, 85.
But again, that's different. That's a little older, a little bit different technology. The TBS Fusion is between 120, 135, I want to say, somewhere in that range.
So fair. So basically you got the Furious, the TBS, and then the Rapid Fire when it comes to price. Because Rapid Fire is like 163 with taxes and all. I can confirm that. But so yeah,
and I think Rapid Fire will always maintain the king of the price tag, but they were the first to market with it, and
no, I did some homework on that. So who was it? Clearview was the very first to start stitching, and then what was it? The one that had the 2 on each side. Chuck had it.
That was not stitching, bro.
I know, but they tried to compare, and price-wise, they tried to compare with the Clearview, and then that's when Rapid Fire come out, was more or less like, look, let's just show you how it's done. So I learned like all of that when I was learning about this module, and then figuring it all out, because I didn't know nothing about stitching. I had no clue what it did with stitching or whatever it was called.
Well, the original Clearview, that was, you couldn't mount that on yourself. You might have carried it around on a shoulder strap. Most people had a ground station to run it. And then you remember, because I think Doc has this module, they tried to bring it to a more portable module, but it failed horribly. And I don't know that they ever resurrected it.
No, to this day, it is said the Rapid Fire is what that module should have been.
Right. Yeah,
and that thing was like $300.
Yeah, I didn't realize Clearview was stitching.
And I know Doc, if he's listening, his ears are burning. You know.
You don't watch us.
Before he got that module in, he had the stock one in his goggles, and it burned out. So I was like, oh man! So I popped out that Furious other module. I had him like, here, just use this, and he used it. I mean, when he got his Clearview, and he's like, bro, that Furious module is like pretty much right there with Clearview, believe it or not. I was like, good, that's good to hear. I
Dude,
like
we
the
told that kid since he bought those that dumb thing that was a crap module, dude, and he was like $350 or something stupid.
He caught it on a deal though. He did. He got a real good deal on it because it was I want to think he still paid upwards of 200 for it, close to 200. So
That shit makes rapid fire look like a great deal.
I got some Snickers, some chips. Anybody want anything?
Although I'll tell you what, to this day, I bet you the Clearview ground station is probably still the best, FPV freaking module out there.
Right. It's good to learn about this because I'm gonna tell you before when I was, people, oh man, what you fly?
One at a time.
That clear one with the 3 buttons on it. Like I didn't care because look, I was ambitious. I wanted to get my damn battery in my drone. I didn't care as long as I was seeing. I didn't care what brand, what model, what make. So it's good to get off into that path now and start to understand my equipment more and stuff like that.
Well, even you said that a lot of times when you get something new, you're looking for that holy shit moment. But to be honest, once you get to a place, those moments are going to be far and few between. But, once you come off the expectation of wanting that holy cow moment, you start to see and appreciate all the little things. And then you're like, okay, I see.
Yep, because like Orca in the beginning, and I showed the DVR of it. Everybody saw that, and everybody was like, what the hell is that? So in the very beginning, no, I didn't. And I didn't understand it because it's kind of right there on the edge of a digital goggle. So I guess the PAL and NTSC, all that has to be right. If not, it'll flicker and feedback, stuff like that. So it made sense. And then once I got in the menu, at first it was hard because the screen was out here and the circle was here. So it's kind of like looking down in the corner to kind of look, at your numbers and stuff instead of putting them in your face. So then once I realized that was a super view, I put it on normal view and it was perfect right outside there. And then you start to forget that circle.
This guy a week later still trying to convince himself he didn't buy a lemon. Every day, at least 3 times a day, he says, someday I'll be happy. I'm convinced they'll fix it.
I still haven't seen any kind of flight footage from it or an opinion on how they were.
I think our anxious neighbor gets himself in a tizzy before he even experiences what it is and starts worrying about. Just get your eyeballs in it, Broseph.
Throw it in there. I can't wait to see it. Fly with him and see what it looks like.
I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yeah, dude. I know a few people that have it, and they fell in love as soon as they got it.
Well, and that's what I mean. That's one of those things where you would look at it. You'd go from your analog to digital, and you'd be like, "Holy cow!" There's no way that can't be a huge difference. And that alone is going to be awesome. But then, usually they penetrate a little better. They handle the imaging a little better. I'm comparing to analog, not digital to digital.
Right.
And all those little things on top of the better image is just going to be so nice.
So, Eric, do you just plug it into the HDMI port and then just click down on the left stick to get to that port, and then it works on any goggles? Because if that's the case, we're gonna pop them on these HDO2s, and we're gonna cause Eric to go buy goggles real quick.
It's that it's that switch that turns your screen off.
Okay.
Yeah,
it plugs in through the external, and then you hit that switch.
I got your turn. Okay. The RX switch.
Just like if you wanted to watch a movie, you could plug an HDMI in there and watch a movie.
Your module. I got you. Okay. That's be pretty cool.
Yeah. The format, the form factor is extremely attractive for a lot of reasons. I mean, you can mount those things on anything pretty much.
Mini HDMI, not HDMI. Okay. I'll have to find mine. I was going to plug it in and just watch the stream through my goggles right now.
Yeah, it's mini HDMI in.
Yeah. I know it'll work for the HDO2. It's basically what it was made for. I mean, it's made for other goggles, I'm saying, but.
Well, that's
Now,
good,
Eric,
man. I'm glad you're enjoying all that stuff.
It's been fun. It really has.
I love
been
listening
talking.
to you. Oh, go ahead.
I am
Spit it out, son.
Iron Man.
Eric's been going on and on about a rumor about new Fat Shark goggles that have shark bite built in.
I know.
It's not a rumor. It's wishful thinking.
Yeah, I saw that he showed us the email or the whatever it was, and I'm like, he didn't really say anything.
I can go into my Gmail and type something up and take a picture of it and blur out the addresses. And
Eric, he's calling you out on your deep fake, dog.
hello. No, the transmitter, from day one, I was like, ooh, he's going to hate it for a little while. And, here and there, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm fine, but it just feels different. No, it's good, I like it, but it just feels different. And I'm like, anytime I've even remotely entertained the idea, like, maybe now's the time to buy a transmitter, I'm like, I really don't want to change.
Yeah, me, I bought another XT9. I'm like, fuck it, I'm sticking with the 10-year-old shit.
I know, right?
So
hey, when you got something and it works.
Right. And it was, so mine now, I noticed after my mod, my stick set down further after you mod it. It's got like these spacer plates. I was out flying Shane's today, and I could feel that stick setting up that little bit of a height. And I was like, oh, I already feel the difference.
Dude, Chris, after Chris did that mod, and he told me all about it, and he's like, oh, the sticks are lower. They have a 3D printed thing. Your sliders are stiffer. All the things that I hated about that and why I didn't buy it. Right after I bought that freaking XT9 from John, he's like, oh, hey, bro, by the way, this is totally exactly what you wanted now.
They do. They literally, like, the slider and all works fine. It literally has drag to it. I can't wait till they do the update with the touchscreen. That's going to be really cool.
Is that something you're going to be able to upgrade that with?
Yeah, the screen's already touchscreen. It's just a matter for them to come in. Wait for the update.
They're slacking on software. Huh? Yeah.
Yep. It's just going to be a software thing. And the thing is, once you add Crossfire to this radio, it can fly anything, because there is the protocols from A to Z in this thing that it can fly everything out there. Even the cars.
For you, that's huge.
It is. I didn't realize that in the beginning. Didn't realize how much it would matter to me. I'm like, why is Bardwell like stuck on the Radio Master? Because if you go over and ask him what radio he prefers, he'll tell you this radio. And I'm like, why though? But it makes sense, because all he gets involved with, it just, you don't have to worry about having that radio for that receiver, run it all off of this. I was like, wow.
No, but not just because you have so much stuff and you will always acquire even more. We're still waiting to see Drone Room 2 start coming into play. But because you're doing so much contract work, commission work, you never know what somebody's going to want. And now you're not relying on their transmitter to be able to do your testing.
Exactly.
John, what's up?
Hey, yeah, Mr. J.
So John asked me, I went and flown with him, and he was like, man, I flew with his jumper. It's just because his gimbal, after a while your gimbals, the sensors get wore out. So when he moved it on the left side, it was getting wore out. So the quad, would take a real hard tick and come back. And I was like, man, check out the QX7. And he was just about to buy it. He's like, who do you kind of like go to, info and all. I told him Bardwell, He goes to ask Bardwell. Bardwell says, buy the radio, and he bought it. I said, damn thing you did, because it was like 3 days later I switched over to this radio.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. If you guys have the ability, you're going to want to buy some hardware for spares or future builds, because the electronics market has been taking a plunge. not just in prices going up, but it's going to get harder to find components. And then when they are made, they're going to be made in smaller batches because there's not as much stuff to go around. Pyro had some flight controllers come into stock, so I bought 3 just to throw into my box for spares. They didn't have the other stacks, and I find this in a lot of places when you're looking for a full stack. Sometimes they're really hard to find, and I've become quite fond of the Mamba hardware.
Well, I think that's because they're phasing in that Mamba basic.
So when you see, I've been dealing with Mamba for a long time. When you see them out, they're literally catching production back up, and they do come back out. Like, I know with the shortage and all, because that was the thing with these DJI V2 goggles, because of the shortage of ports and stuff. It was hard, to get them. And the wait, it's been a wait for a little bit, but they're supposed to come in this week now, I think. But it is, and I hope it gets better, because I really hate to see it. I don't want to see it kill the hobby. I really don't. I mean,
I don't think it's going to kill the hobby. It's just going to make things hard to get. And, on that prospect, I went out and stocked up, I'll say, on hardware for a little bit. And since I couldn't get the Mamba stacks I wanted, I started doing a little bit of research. Have you seen these guys around?
Sky Stars, yes. I actually built a couple of their quads.
Didn't they make shitty motors?
What's that?
So didn't they make shitty motors?
I don't know. They just started putting out, or they started putting out in places where I shop, flight controllers and ESCs, and they are price-wise in line with the Mamba stuff. If anything, they're even slightly less expensive than the Mamba hardware. And but I've seen no reviews or anything. And even Erik was like, "Hey, you guys do anything about that SkyStar stuff?" I decided I'm gonna take the plunge and try it out. So I got, this is just a standalone ESC.
Right.
BL Heli 45 or BL Heli 32 45 amp. I want to say it was $35.
Very nice.
Really good price. And look, I can actually see something here. I haven't even opened this yet. I can see something here that I'm going to tell you I wish every ESC manufacturer did.
I built a couple of their quads. I was really impressed when I built that quad and flew it. Let me tell you what, locked in. You're going to be real impressed with their electronics from what I've flown with them.
Well, with the flight controller, I've already seen a few things that I think could have been better planned. Like, one of the things I loved about the Mamba stack is when you go to solder up the pigtail for your FPV camera, it's on the right side of the board, on the edge nearest the FPV camera. Things like that, right? Well, SkyStars already, they're putting things in places they don't make sense, but that's minor, right? But check this out. How many times have you gotten a 4-in-1 ESC with a flight controller that your plug, you had to pry these things out and switch them around?
Yep.
That's a pain in the ass, right?
Every time, actually.
It comes depinned, and you can put them in the order you want.
That is nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I'm actually looking for an ESC for my other H7, since I don't think the KISS thing is going to work out, and I'm not buying new ESCs. So that might be an option.
Figured out.
No, it desyncs, bro. I think I got a bad ESC, and I don't think I have any more of those, and I'm not buying any more.
This has, lots of little features that I look for. I'll take that out of there. So it's not as shiny.
Let me see how thick the support is. Can I see the thickness? Show it sideways once you pull it out. I want to see how thick it is.
Yeah, well, I actually brought my calipers with me too, since I'm on a 2-week stint away from home, and every time I do that, I'm like, I find stuff I want to measure. Somebody wants something modeled, but PCB is coming in at
0.8.
Yeah, 8 millimeters. It is thick. I mean, it's heavy.
Yeah, I can see it.
Everything looks in pretty good general order. I mean, it's a pretty standard ESC by a lot of terms. It does have a fair amount of filtration going on here. That's not something everybody has caught on to.
If you didn't tell me the name of it and said, guess this ESC, I would probably guess Racer Star.
Okay. Right here is the plug. you know, for the 4-in-1 ESC to flight controller plug. Well, right here on the edge of the board, you've got those nice wide pads if you want to, if you prefer to solder them, or if you know your plug fails or something.
I like that.
Which is really nice. And then I don't know if you can see this, but every one of the pads is perforated. For me, that's a big deal. Meaning it's got those little holes that go all the way through.
Right.
I have pulled pads off of hardware that's not perforated, especially when you're talking about ESCs and things that usually require a lot of heat to get the soldering done.
Right.
Every pad is perforated.
Now,
Those pads will not pull off.
I would install those to the side in the little grooves. But then again, I've been doing that forever since I'm a KISS guy, and KISSes always came like that. Now, between the perforations and attaching it to the side like that, that's the most solid thing you can get.
Okay.
And that's why, you know, when I look at the price, I'm like, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet. If I buy lemons, I buy lemons. But it's not going to be a fortune, so I'll deal with it.
You're not going to be unhappy with that, I bet you. If you are, I'll buy it from you.
Well, then I also got 2 flight controller and ESC stacks DJI ready. So,
yeah.
now it also came with a little cap. It's a 35 volt, 560 microfarad cap. So, I mean, it's sufficient.
35 volt, that's good, I guess.
It's 6S capable.
Right.
And then it came with the tall gummy standoffs. So, no complaints for the price. Now we'll just have to see if it holds up the way your Mambas have, because you're the one that sold me on those. And ever since, I can't seem to get off of them.
Hit me with a link on that. I'll definitely try that thing out.
Will do.
It
came with a pigtail too, but I never use those.
I forget what their quad was called. It was like a it was a 5-inch.
You're right. They did bind and fly drones, or almost ready to fly drones, didn't they?
No, they did complete builds too. You got it. It was completely taken up, apart, just all your parts. I just didn't realize that they had their own components. I figured they used like Omnibus or something.
I only started seeing them a few weeks ago when I was looking for Mamba hardware, and it has yet to come into stock.
I did, amigo. Caught that freaking FC on fire and or ESC on fire, and the flight controller still lives.
Keep talking. I like it.
Hey, I think I've burnt a few KISS quads up. I only lost one ESC to fire. I mean, one flight controller to fire. I got flight controllers that are like 5 years old. I'm not worried about a shortage.
I'm not worried about a shortage neither. There's a lot of Mambas on that wall too.
Oh man. Well, we will definitely keep you guys updated with our shenanigans, but I came ready to tear some shit up. I got 4 brand new motors ready to swap out. Now I've got 2 drones running, got some fresh bearings in the gravel monster. Got my 2 sessions, my busted ass Hero 8. I've got all kinds of TPU spare parts floating around. I mean, I came ready for war.
Did you fuck up your Hero 8 already? I think I kind of remember that.
Shh. Already? Bro, I've had this thing longer than any of you guys without busting it. Finally broke the back screen.
Oh, look at that. Goodness.
Beautiful. She's tough. I'll give her that. She's tough.
I'm a bitch. I don't put mine on my quad no more. I smartened up. Because I can take my sessions, right? Like look at my footage and tell me why I need to use the 9. Seriously. Like I'm being real. Like it just looks so freaking good. I'm like, I don't want to destroy you.
That's why I never even considered the 9, dude. That's a vlogging camera.
And it's pretty on your quad. Hey, you put it on your quad, you can run with the big boys with that bad boy. I don't care what your quad could be going. and that footage is just smooth with that linear horizon.
Hey,
Go ahead. I was just going to say, one of the things to this day that I still catch myself going, you fucking fat ass, is just the amount of weight that this thing adds to the drone. I was flying the session drone today, which they're duplicate. They are clone builds. The only difference is this one has a session mount on it instead of a Hero 8. And automatically I'm like, God, I miss this. She recovers with, less throttle. She's just more agile. I'm like,
right?
I think the 8 is borderline between
I'll tell you
long
where I've
camera
really
and
appreciated
quad.
the 8. Now, I've done a lot of flying that's not cinematic. I just kind of bit the bullet and decided it was time to start flying it, right? So I could get used to it. But when I went to Rhode Island doing some of that cinematic stuff, my drone was shaking up a storm. The bearings and the other hardware weren't helping. Well, I turned on Hyper Smooth. And for doing that cinematic stuff, I turned it off again. I can't stand some of the...
And that's the thing with I think on the 9, if you kind of just put it on, what makes the 9 is that linear horizon. But you have to know that you can't go like a bat out of hell. You find that right speed. Oh my God, that's you don't need a DJI. I'm seriously, like, you can literally fly like it's all you have to do is be able to take the camera and look down, and nobody would believe you on FPV quad.
Yeah. Well, now that I've done that, I'll be flying it for sure, trying to, break it the rest of the way, so I have an excuse to send it in.
Oh yeah,
we'll get that done.
I have no doubt. Every time I get with you, but I am prepared this time.
You guys saw our shenanigans from this past weekend.
Exactly.
You all top that.
Yes.
Now, I don't know who's going to be riding on the hotel cart and who's going to be pushing it, but I can't wait for the footage.
Man, I was like, so I ripped out. We did fly at the hotel. I was kind of like a little leery. There's a lot of people at that hotel.
I saw Ray's video.
We got up this morning, or that morning. I was like, "You trying to rip the hotel?" He's like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna just watch you." Man, by the time I went down there, he already committed and had everything already in his bag. Yeah, we both uploaded one today. Hotel.
Double A, yes. That thing's a piece of shit, and I'm now rocking the Predator 5 Nano.
P5. Yeah, Carnage. That camera's nothing for Carnage. She's like, "What camera?" You can put.
Well, and when I originally got the 8, I was building a 6-inch, one that I started like a year ago and never finished. And that was the idea, was it would be a good weight on the 6-inch. It would kind of, stop it from feeling too flighty and all. Let me tell you, I tried. I was trying hard to get that 6-inch inside of my bag with all the other stuff that I brought, for repairs. Before I threw in the towel and said, there's just no way it's going. I even tried to put it in my carry-on, but then I couldn't get my carry-on to zip.
I would have just carried it.
How do you have a quad that you started building a year ago and haven't finished building yet?
Because when it comes down to time, like, you figure time, right? Because a lot of times on the weekends I get tied up just doing chores, trying to get on top of stuff, right? Then, because now work's back in full, right? Last year I had some chances and I squandered them all. So right now it just comes down to time. And when I get a nice day, it's like, do I want to sit inside and do this, or do I want to go out? Do I want to go out? And then nighttime comes. And during the afternoon, I'm like, I'm fresh, I'm energized, I haven't been out doing shit all day. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it tonight. Well, tonight comes and everybody goes to bed at 9:30. And I'm like, I don't feel like doing that right now. It's nothing but excuses, because to me, building is like my third favorite thing.
See, me, I love building. Flying is an add-on to all it.
I'm not so sure about that. I think you need to clone yourself, one for building and one for flying.
Yep.
That'll be cool.
Because if you don't fly, you cry. And if you don't build, you cry.
I'm just a complainer.
Well,
it's only going to take me an hour to wrap this thing up, tops. And that's at Josh's build rate, because Josh doesn't build fast.
Hey, if anybody wants to call Ray, there you go.
Set it on fire, it'd be like a normal day.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's coming because I got the 3-inch everything in now too. That's another one I was going to bring. I did have room for it. I couldn't find my damn flight controller stack. I put it away somewhere, couldn't find it. I was like, forget it. Look, here's proof I was going to bring it. Why would I have brought these?
I'll use them. No, I got 12.
Yeah, you're good. So, nah, it'll be good. I'm getting everything ready. I'll tell you, in May, I got to go out with you guys like 2 weeks that month. Yeah, because I think I met up with you and then I met up with Erik, but we weren't able to get everything lined up together. And now I haven't been able to see any of you guys, and I am fiending. So I'll spend this weekend with Chuck, and then it's going to be time to get the group together.
Yeah, I don't want to hear no bitching about fiending about meetups.
I know, right? Damn, he's been flying every weekend, all weekend.
Who?
Don't look at me like that.
Who? I'm getting it in. Y'all know. They know. I used to set. Oh, I used to set and wait. I can't know. I gotta get it.
Bro, if I sat and waited, I wouldn't get to fly. That's why I started bringing my shit with me and just sending it.
Absolutely, because if you got it and you get in the moment, you want to do it, send it. Look, I was flying today over at the zoo. You hear, ran, brr, brr. I'm like, come my way, bitches, come my way.
They did.
I'm flying. Next thing you know, I punch up, split ass down onto the bridge, and here comes the dirt bikes. I'm like, oh! I jump right in. I let the first one go by, the second one, I jump in third. I'm just cruising with them. And you hear them, they got like real car horns on. They're going, burp, burp. They're going, look at the quad. Look at the quad.
I could hear that, but I heard you too. I was laughing through the whole thing.
I loved it. My knees were knocking on that one. That was a good one right there. I haven't had that knee knock in a long time. You know, something that really threw me off. Oh, I loved it. It was crazy.
Now, the end of May, I'm going back to San Diego, so I'll be hitting some more spots there too.
Shit, it's coming down right now, Raz.
I wish I'd love to get out there at those cliffs. Oh,
that shit just needs to dump and dump and dump and be over with and gone.
Dude, last time I looked at the weather, the weekend's supposed to be nice.
Get some ripping in.
If I pull up Indianapolis weather and it says it's supposed to rain, I'm leaving tomorrow.
No, you're not. You're going to do the same thing I did. You're going to have faith that Mother Nature is going to let you pull shit off.
Plus, I know you're coming down for the barbecue.
Yeah. Bro, I would come anyway. Even it ain't about the flying. That's just icing on the cake.
It really ain't, but he's just saying that shit.
Dude, Friday's supposed to be 65, mostly sunny. Saturday is still fully sunny, 75.
I can't wait to see what y'all get into.
I want to see who's going to run faster.
I ain't running.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, the last time you all had a race, it was almost dead even. So I want to see who's going to run faster this time.
The trick is you just have to bite your homie's thumb so the drone smells blood. Then you're safe.
hey, no. You already know. The only reason why Josh is going down to meet Chuck, right, is because Chuck don't do nothing but fly toothpicks now. There's really no threat. It might come up, bounce off your chest or something.
Because those glazed donut holes.
Yeah, that's right.
What? Oh, man.
It was beautiful here today.
Was it?
Yes, like 85, almost
It was
90.
80 degrees at 8 o'clock tonight.
Well,
wow.
My battery, my phone is at 14%, and my phone is so fucking hot right now from running all this shit
Your phone.
that it says it's not going to charge right now. So, yeah.
Well, that's okay. We are going to wrap this up anyway. We have hit our hour obligation. We have,
Start the truck.
honestly, you know, Chris, I love when you're here, brother.
Thank you.
And Crystal, too.
Crystal!
You know, I feel bad after I do that, but in my head, whenever I say Chris, you're automatically, like, your faces pop up right next to each other. But you're both Chris in my head.
You can expect her down there, she's there.
No, you're right. Because you've got the one that's wild, crazy ass, insane, and then you got the mama that's got to keep you all straight.
Wow.
Bullshit. You are
on.
batshit.
I'm
You
a
are
grown-ass
batshit.
man.
Hey, you are batshit crazy.
Chuck, damn it, you're not supposed to tell them that. They all haven't actually met me in person yet. You're gonna scare them all away.
Right? Come by, check us out on Fridays at the Drone Network. Hold on, I gotta show something off before we go.
Yeah, Drone Network.
I just
And-
looked up there. No one,
Oh yes.
no one has recognized this and said anything.
Dude, I love that.
That is dope. Ray, Razman FPV in the chat, literally
That is
handmade
a one of a
that.
kind, custom, handmade.
That is crazy. Mad skill.
I've
Tweaker.
always been a sucker for handmade stuff. Like, it could look like a hot mess, and I would still love it because somebody, that is time that somebody put into something that they could have been doing any number of other things. But it's so appropriate.
That's a lot of time.
Lot of
was
time.
it ever? It was
Later,
epic.
Wonder.
It was epic because he's like, "Don't show Chris," and I'm like, "I got you." Well, he would be working on it, and I would be asleep. And when I got up and went to work, I would check, and I'd always have an update. And I'm like, "Ha ha! I've got the iPad off at home. I know Chris isn't seeing anything. We're safe."
Right?
Yeah, guys, Raz is his 3D printer. He uses a 3D printing or pen. Thank
This
you.
one right here, as a matter of fact.
Yep. Exact one.
Because me, I walked away from it for 6 hours, but not Ray.
I haven't tried it out too much yet, but I do have the TPU now. So.
Yep.
Oh Lord, we're gonna see like some type of safety net or something behind Chuck, and it's all gonna be made out of TPU, where he's trying different things with the pen.
No, he just wanted to make slugs.
Slugs. He's not kidding. Slugs.
Slugs is what you call when you want to add a blob of material to a little arm on a micro.
To make that shit stronger.
He's just gonna go up and down the arm.
In all seriousness, it actually might come in handy for repairs too, because if you hold those parts close together and get a bead going in them, it's like a weld.
That's exactly. Ray was going on and on about his new shit, and it was just me and him in the chat, and I got to fly up my ass, and I'm like, you know what? I'm ordering one. I mean, strictly for repairs, this it's already paid for itself, and I haven't even repaired anything.
Ray said it took him 4 days to do that thing. Holy shit.
I would sleep with that.
Yeah.
It's gotta stay with the
It's
quad.
not staying on my side. I'm staying on my side. It'll have to stay on Chris's side.
No, it goes on your pillow.
Only after I go to work.
Hang right behind the bed. Where I can just look up. But I had to hang it here where I can share it.
Look, I already know you and Ray are extremely close, but I mean, don't make me start questioning things.
Turbo.
Well, Josh, actually, I think using this for repairs, I still would be using a torch as well. But this lays it down where you want it. You take the torch, melt everything nice together. Shape it with a spatula or whatever you want.
And that is the other thing this comes in handy for. After I get done heating it up, I close the cap.
Oh, there you go.
And then when he's done repairing his shit, he can smoke some crack.
Because yes, see, you guys know me.
Crack.
Because you guys know me. I heated that stuff up once and miscalculated how hot it was and went, and then I was like, napalm, make it stop.
Hey, dude, I'll print you a crack pipe, dude, so you can try that.
And then we told everybody that Josh burnt his thumb smoking his crack pipe. Everybody
But anybody that is interested in repairing their shit and or doesn't have a 3D printer and doesn't want to wait frickin' a week to get some shit ordered after you bust your shit, this thing was like $50. Not bad. And it's not, and it's a good one.
This motherfucker. Did you get some solder?
Almost. I've been working on this role for years. Almost at the end.
Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ, have I rolled some wells?
Oh, man. All right, guys. That's it. We are going to cut out of here. You guys make sure you check in with MD95 on Fridays. Him and Raymond the Razman Rasputin.
And Cristal. And some other
Holding down the
guy.
Drone Network, keeping it live and real, and keep up to date with everything going on there. Say hi to Chuck.
Hey, he's got a new video too, so go watch it.
Yes. Yeah, keep up. This guy's definitely, him and Raz have got some content. And if I didn't know better, I'd say they were consciously coordinating releases.
No, they're just spitting them out as fast as they possibly fucking
Oh my God.
can.
I have never seen you guys so excited about footage and edits. You know, usually everybody's like, man, I got to edit. No, these two are like, they're whipping these damn things out one after another. So stay tuned.
They've been talking about that trip for the past since you got back.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Dude, that stuff, y'all just, if you don't know, if you haven't lived it a little bit, men even more than women, but Crystal, I've learned, likes her adventure too. But men need adventure in their life. You cannot put us in a nest and expect us to be happy. Women will find a way typically. Men, you can't do it. You got to get us out. And those two, then you throw in the surprises and the brotherhood and all that. We'll be hearing about this for all of May.
Yeah,
and I'm down with it.
May, dude, y'all better wait because there's. I think you guys are going to be hearing about this for a lot longer than just a month.
We got plans.
Yep, good. Well, you guys make sure you keep up to date with Raz. Yeah, I almost said Raz and Ray. With Razman, keep up to date with his shenanigans. Keep up with Crystal. Maybe sometimes she'll bless us with a Crystal's Crazy Corner. Been a while since one of those have gone on.
Yeah, I know. Wacky Wednesday's going to have to make an appearance again.
Yep. Keep your eyes on the Drone Network and all the builds that Chris is going to be working on because he's got some fun stuff coming down the pipe.
For sure.
Me and Chuck will try to work on something, but E-Drone's got a lot of stuff going on too, as usual. So he's back from his month hiatus, and make sure you head on over there. And everybody in chat, make sure you visit everybody else's channel in chat, even if just to say hi on a video once in a while.
Yeah,
so thanks for stopping by. What?
Don't be jerks.
Yeah, right? Don't be like me.
I want to see Crystal fight when it goes in.
All right. Love y'all. Until next time, happy hump day.